Thanks F.I.I for sponsoring this video. This is one of the greatest things in the world. Steak, bread, and butter. We all know it's the most delicious combination, but I think today we're gonna make it even better. And that is by using this ingredient, bone marrow. It is known as the butter of the gods. And everything starts off with our steaks. These are New York strip. I want you to notice one thing. They are slightly frozen because for today's experiment, we must remove all of the silver skin and fat that comes in a New York strip. At the same time, we're gonna be squaring the steak off. For today's experiment, this is exactly what you want. Now, the next thing that is quite important is to do something that is called dry brine. This is just a fancy word to say put salt on it and let it rest. Because once it was fully seasoned, the only thing left to do is to put it in the refrigerator and wait until the salt is completely gone. As that was happening, it was perfect because it allowed me time to go ahead and prepare the rest of the things. And the first one is going to be this, bone marrow. I want you to notice that mine has been soaking for quite some time. Usually 24 hours is good enough. And the reason is because you want to remove as much blood inside of the bone marrow as possible. Because once you're done, it is nice and clean. Next up is to go ahead and put it in the oven in the broiler setting. For today's video, we're going to be using the bone marrow as a butter. So we want to melt it down as much as possible. Because what we're really after is this liquid gold. As you can see, it is extremely pure and clean. Now the next step is pretty simple. We're going to fill up this ice tray so that we can preserve this liquid gold. It only took me about an hour in the freezer. As once that was done, take a look at this. At least to me, it really now looks like the butter of the gods. Another fat I really enjoy is this one, duck fat. Today we're also going to be putting it against bone marrow. The process is exactly the same. I'm just going to put them on the ice tray, freeze it up, and they are now ready. The biggest difference is that duck fat melts quite quickly, so you got to keep it on your freezer at all times. But now that this is ready, I wanted to go ahead and make an awesome side dish for us today. And this is my take on risotto. However, there's a twist. First, we're going to start off with the shrimp. So into a bowl I threw in the shrimps, followed by fresh garlic, Guga's rub, followed by the bone marrow we just made. Now there's left to do is to mix it well and make sure that every single one of them is perfectly coated. Now into a pan I scraped as much bone marrow as possible and started to cook them up. Keep in mind that shrimp cooks really quickly. As soon as you start getting a little bit of coloration, it's time to flip. Once it's fully cooked, the next thing to do is to plate it up, and I'll tell you one thing. Even if you don't enjoy shrimp, you should give this one a try because the bone marrow adds something special. Don't believe me? Well, you just wait and see. As now the next step is this, confit leeks. First thing to do is to go ahead and chop it up nice and fine. Then into a pan throw in a good amount of butter, followed by the leeks and a good amount of white wine. Stir it a little bit to incorporate, add some brown sugar and salt. Now you want to mix it and incorporate all the ingredients together. The key here is to let it confit little by little under low heat. And that is what you're looking for. Next up, we're gonna make a seafood stock. These are the ingredients I like to use. We got shrimp, onions, celery, garlic, carrots, and bay leaves. Into a pan, I throw everything in, followed by a good amount of water. Stir it a little bit and bring it to a boil. Then you wanna let it simmer under medium heat for about 20 minutes. Because once you're done, your seafood stock is now ready. Now let's talk about the rice for the risotto. I like to use this one. The starch that it has, it just creates a creamier texture. And for my risotto, we're not using any cream. And here's my take on it. Into a pan, I threw in a good amount of butter. Once it was melted, I threw in some onions, followed by garlic. Mix it around a little bit and let it simmer. Then I added 2 cups of rice. We want to stir and combine all of the ingredients together. Then I added 1 cup of white wine. Mix everything well and keep stirring. Next up, I added the seafood stock. And again, keep mixing it nice and gentle. To give it a nice yellow color and taste, I threw in some ají amarillo, which you should be able to find it in any supermarket. Mix it well because this will instantly change the color. Move it nice and gentle so that the starch can be removed and add the seafood stock little by little. There is no need to add any cream, and it is one of the reasons I really like this rice. I mean, take a look how creamy it is. But we're not done yet. Notice that I did not add any salt. I went ahead and added Parmigiano Reggiano because the only thing left to do now is to stir it and mix it all together, and my incredible seafood risotto is ready. Now to plate it, it's pretty simple. I first started with the risotto, followed by that wonderful shrimp we just cooked, then the caramelized leeks, followed by a good amount of parsley. Now this is today's side dish, and I can tell you one thing, it will please everyone, even if you don't like seafood. Another thing that will please everyone is the steaks, and by this time they have been fully dry brined. You see this dark red coloration? It is a sign that the salt penetrated deeply in there, because the next thing to do is to go ahead and bread it. First, I made a quick batter. It's a quick combination of eggs and all-purpose flour. This is the consistency you're looking for. So to bread it, it's quite simple. First, it goes into the batter, followed by breadcrumbs. Just make sure you add a good amount, as now it's time to fry. And to do so, you want to flash fry it really quick. I set my oil at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, threw it in there, and it only took 30 seconds. At the same time, we were left with a nice crust, but as soon as I sliced it, everything is still completely raw in the middle, which is exactly what I was looking for. Now I went ahead and kept slicing it. We want nice thick slices. The only reason it was fried first was so that we can get a crispy crust, because now it's the real time to cook it. So I went ahead and got a hot plate and threw in my bone marrow. 3 little cubes was enough. As soon as it was melted, I went ahead and added my steaks. After about 1 minute, go ahead and flip. You now have 2 options. You can eat it just as is, and trust me, it's gonna be good. But if you desire a crust, go ahead and use a torch right on top. Now I tell you one thing, this has to be incredible. But remember, not only did I cook it with the bone marrow, I also did it with the butter and duck fat. As the goal of this video is to find out which one is better. The only thing left to do is to go ahead and give it a try and let you know. So now I say, it is enough talking and it is time to eat. So let's do it.
Does that look good or what? But before we try it, I want to thank today's sponsor, Chef.IQ. As you guys know, I've cooked thousands of steaks. And this is my secret to get the perfect steak every time. Use the right meat thermometer. And this Chef.IQ smart thermometer is what I use to get the perfect steak every time. It's got fast charging technology, so you only have to charge the thermometer for 5 minutes to get 20 hours of cook time. It has a USB-C chargeable hub station that makes charging easy. Plug in the hub, pop in a probe, and it charges automatically. The hub even has audio alerts, so if it's time to flip, baste, or remove from the heat, you can get notifications on your phone and from the hub. Use the Chef.IQ app to make amazing meals with guided cooking. The app even has easy to follow recipes. On top of that, it has built-in Wi-Fi technology for unlimited range, so no matter where you are, you can always watch those steaks. Or if you're smoking a beautiful brisket, leave the house and you still know how it's doing just by opening up the app on your phone. Chef.IQ makes cooking easy. Just insert the probe, set the temp, cook your food, and enjoy. Check them out. All links will be on the description below. Thanks again, Chef.IQ, for sponsoring today's video, but now let's get right back to it. All right, everybody, here we got our beautiful steak with a nice fancy side dish today, gentlemen.
I don't know why this dish is in front of me. That should be on that side of the table.
Excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kinda hot,
That's
everybody.
what you get. That's what you get trying to make
Been
a
on the
joke.
food warm, everybody. That thing's hot. Now, you know the number one question we're gonna ask on the videos all the time is if the food's hot. Yes, food's hot.
That was proof right there, guys.
So here's the deal. We got a little experiment going on. I really want your honest opinion in here, okay? These are all deep fried steaks. And most importantly, there are different varieties of fats. Now, the question is too much fat too good? Well, we're about to find out. All right, let's go this direction here. Please dig in. Now, honestly, on a restaurant setting, this will be served with a hot plate. Yes, caramba! That was that terrible idea.
I hope they can hear the power of that snap when Guga does it. Wow, this thing smells incredible. I cannot wait to take a bite out of this.
With all that being said, enough talking. Let's give it a go. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Oh, man.
Yo, that is amazing, everybody.
I thought that crust was gonna be a lot crispier. No, it's almost like French toast. It's fluffy, it has a hard exterior. That meat is delicious.
Yes, I agree 100%.
Super beefy, very rich. That is a 10 out of 10.
This steak makes you want to dance.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It gives you one of these. Yeah.
Here's what I think happened, everybody. By the way, this one was fried in butter, so that's the first fat. What happens is when you're frying it with the butter, the steak juices falls out and gets together with the butter, and it goes inside of the crust on the breadcrumbs. I highly recommend you giving this a go. So our first fat, total success, yes?
Absolutely.
100%.
Enough with that one. Let's jump into the second one. Please dig in, gentlemen. I am very curious about this one. Enough talking, let's give it a go. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
That is amazing, too.
That's good. That's very
Wow.
Damn, I think I like this one more than the first one.
Really?
good. There's a different flavor there too. It's not as savory and as rich as the first one. It does amplify the beefiness a little bit. Again, that crust is really beautiful. I have to say though, I'm more of a fan of the first one. It's equally as rich, but it's just not as salty.
No, everybody. He just likes to drink straight up butter.
You think he's kidding? He's not kidding.
I think I like this one better, but it is missing a little bit of that creamy taste that this one had. So I can understand where
true.
Leo's coming from.
So far, I like this one here. You're the only odd man out so far, which is nothing wrong with that. The first one was butter, and the second one was duck fat.
Oh.
Duck fat is surprisingly so good.
It's so good.
Every single time you've done something with duck fat, it's always so good. We always end up eating it and loving it.
Now I got a surprise for you. So this is a risotto.
Be careful, it's hot.
Kind of cool off over here, eh? So here's the deal. I got a little surprise because I know you don't like seafood so much. So this is a risotto, but it's not any kind of risotto. It is one of Angel's favorite thing to eat kind of risotto. One of the fats Angel like the most. What is it?
Bone marrow?
Correct, Angel, 100%. And the bone marrow is actually on the shrimp, Angel.
Maybe I'll like this shrimp, maybe?
Give me an honest opinion on this one, everybody. Cheers.
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 Oh.
I don't want to describe anything yet. Let me go in for another bite. This is so freaking good.
If seafood always tastes like this, I would love seafood. The shrimp has an amazing flavor on it, and the risotto is extremely creamy, but it also has a seafood taste to it, but it's delicious.
Goes to show you, everybody, just because you don't like something, you gotta always keep trying because it expands your palate to new experiences, everybody. What do you think, Leo?
I have to congratulate you because this is probably one of the best side dishes we've had all year. That risotto is velvety smooth. There's a nice char on that shrimp, beautiful bone marrow, rich flavor that comes from it. That leek also adds a little bit of sweetness too. Fan-freaking-tastic.
Highly recommend you giving it a try, everybody. It's great. But now, the last one.
Okay.
All right, let's dig in. Enough talking, let's give it a try. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
That crust is so good, and it also absorbs the juices from the beef. You have that beautiful piece of meat that's super savory, super rich. I love this.
I cannot agree more. The word that stood out to me when you were talking like for 5 hours is richness. Is this one rich?
Yeah.
That one is my winner, 100%.
Definitely, I like this one better. To you?
Absolutely agree. I love this third steak.
So this one here was actually bone marrow.
Oh,
Makes
yeah,
sense.
baby.
Makes sense. That's why it's so freaking good.
It is unanimous. Bone marrow is better. Give it a try, everybody. You will not regret it. Quick reminder, make sure to check out Chef.IQ Smart Thermometer on the link on the description down below. This is an awesome thermometer. If you get yourself one, you're going to be real happy. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.